Hey, you guys, this is Rico, and I am back again. So let's get into the shenanigans and just some of the issues that have been irking me and have been very annoying because it's just like, why? Some things happen and you're like, this could have been handled better. This could have not happened at all. This wasn't needed to make the overall situation worse than what it already is. And I have a lot of opinions about this instance, this event that has happened. And it has to do with the over 400 Korean immigrants that were arrested in Georgia. Mind you, Georgia is where Eric Nam is from. I am a fan of Eric Nam. But talking about just like the Korean population and the Korean American population as well as the Korean immigrant population, they have been around for a while, and factoring them into the whole visa situation and the immigration situation, and that aren't awfully bad toupee looking man that we still have representing us at the top as Americans bothers me. He bothers me so much. I choose to just not see him most of the time, but it's like you can't unsee him. And in this instance, just the policies and the bill that he has proposed and put out there has now gone after more and more people. My stance on this is leaning a little bit more toward both sides. I do see both sides, but just going a little bit and talking about like the Korean immigrants and them being arrested and the footage that was put out there. So we just have authorities going in and they're going after everybody. I don't know why people thought it was just going to be Mexicans. No, immigrants means everybody. Mexicans, Africans, East Asians. If you're not from here, they come in. They coming for you, and they come in for you quick. This man is not playing games with anybody, and you see now this is the latest example. It's just the fact that there's a clip and they have them facing toward a bus like they're criminals, and it's like, you being illegal does not make you a criminal. You being illegal makes you illegal. It's like that's all it is to it. There's no in between. But for them to have these people like, you murdered somebody's family member, and it's like, okay, get up against the wall, turn around and have them like chained up and chained by the legs like they're some type of slaves, some type of prisoners already. This is what really was crazy to me, more so than getting into the whole illegal thing. It's like humanity and people being shown humanity is at an all-time low, and it's so disheartening because we're going all the way back to like how they were treating Mexicans and the kids in cages and them just pulling people out of their home. It's like, there's a way you can handle it where you're not treating somebody like they're an animal or like they are a piece of trash that you just see on the sidewalk. It's like, there is no understanding of this. It's just very much, you're illegal, so you're a bad person. You are the scum of the earth. We're gonna treat you like you're not a human being.
Site. We need construction to cease immediately.
DHS agents lining up workers at a Hyundai plant under construction near Savannah, Georgia.
We're supposed to have our ID. If you have it, and it's great. You don't need to go grab it if you don't.
Officials say they arrested 475 workers who were in the U.S. illegally, the largest single-site enforcement operation in Homeland Security history.
This operation underscores our commitment to protecting jobs for Georgians and Americans.
Officials say the majority of those arrested are South Korean nationals and worked for contractors and subcontractors, not for Hyundai directly. Hyundai posting it complies with, quote, all laws and regulations wherever we operate. President Trump backing the DHS operation.
They were illegal aliens, and ICE was just doing it.
And so, just get out of our country. And so this is what was shown to me, and it was sad to see. Now, not taking away from the technicality of it all, because I think people kind of confuse the two. Me talking about the humanity of things does not mean that I support them coming into the country illegally. And I think that two things can be true. I think there are some people that think that two things cannot be true at the same time. This is where I lean a little bit more conservative, because I do believe that these people need to have the correct papers and the correct documentation to come into this country like everybody else. I do believe that they should not be cheating the system. I do believe that they should not get a free pass just because it's like, oh, it's a sad story, you're an immigrant and you come over here because you want a better life, which I think is a wonderful thing. And I think for the people that brave the lands to get here is a wonderful thing. But it's like, even if you do come over here illegally, try your best to still get your papers, or try your best to still go back out and come in legally, or find a way to just get everything correct so you can stay here, so that there is no excuse for this man right now to come and drag you out of your home like you are a dog going to the pound. That's all I'm saying. And I will speak from my experience. I can't speak for anybody else. I can't speak about what anyone else has experienced. As someone who has been in the Korean community, as someone who has been attending Korean church for over 4 years at one point, I don't anymore, but I did to learn Korean and to immerse myself in the culture. A lot of people do not have their visas. There are a lot of people that do come in here on a temporary visa and then it expires and they do not get it extended. There are a lot of people that come over here and they just pop out babies, and the babies are citizens but they are not, and they are working in their own founded companies. They're working with other people. They're working within the Korean community. One thing about the Korean community, even outside of South Korea, is that they're very close-knit and they work with each other. A lot of them that are immigrants, you can spot them from a mile away because a lot of them cannot speak English well. A lot of them don't speak English at all. A lot of them don't try to learn English. And I will say this, they don't. Now, their kids might, but then there's a lot of them that they don't. They're just like, okay, I just stay in, the Korean community and the Korean towns and wherever, and it is what it is. Everybody else can just go and just, just stay over there. You're not Korean. It is like this, and this was one of the issues I kind of had being in an all-Korean setting, was that it was very much Korean, 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 us, 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 nobody else, us, only us. Where, I'm black, in the black community, we understand that it's not always just us. We understand, like, oh, our experience can relate to your experience or your experience. And oh yeah, maybe we need to come together. But there are a lot of Koreans that come over here that do not have the correct papers. And it's like, please, please go and get, your papers, so that there's no excuse for this man to bum rush your home. Like, you don't want this to happen. You don't want to be sitting up there and you're eating delicious Korean food with your family, and all of a sudden here comes the squads and the police officers, and they're putting you in a line with your children. They're like, do you have your papers? Do you have your papers? Oh, you don't have your papers? This is not the correct visa. You got to come with me. And they're locking you up and dragging you away. No, you don't want this. But sadly, there are a lot of immigrants. I'm not going to just say Koreans, even though we are talking about Koreans here, that do not abide by the rules. They don't. They stay here. They live here for a long time. That's why when talking about what happened when the feds did come in to this place to get a lot of these people, there were a lot of them that ran. That's why when this bill first was passed and they said they were going to do this, there were a lot of Mexicans that were nowhere to be found. Now, I'm not saying all Mexicans, but there were a lot of them that they were nowhere to be found. The space where they were, there was a tumbleweed. because they were like, you're not gonna catch me, you know. And then it's like, it's kind of shaped into, oh, they're fearful, they're afraid. And it's like, I get it, but like, take that fear and that energy of being afraid and get your documentation, so like you don't have to worry about being afraid. Like, make sure that your visa is right too, because they are trying to say that some visas are not correct, you know, or some visas they're not accepted. So like, you gotta make sure that what you have is correct, so that there's no excuse, and so that, you know, it's like, we can be for humanity. I'm not against people coming here. I'm not even against people coming here illegally, but it's like, I am against you being here and you're not going by the rules. I will say that, because there are a lot of us that are already having problems. I don't agree with the talking point either that, you know, like, oh, illegals are criminals, because meanwhile we have all these issues with shootings that are going on, shootings in schools, shootings at rallies.
Or could you tell?
No, it sounded like it was the back of the crowd, which was pretty wild. I don't know though. It's, you know, it's like, it must have been closer, but then again, it's like, if it was that close, how did nobody else, you know, see this man pulling a gun out of his, you know, side or pocket or whatever? So
once he was shot, once Charlie was shot, was there any first aid? Could you see? Do you know if paramedics were able to get to him? Was there any type of sort of first responders on the campus?
Well, there were about 15 to 20 people, you know, right behind him, whether that was security, whether that was medical, whether that was whoever. But as soon as he was shot, he, you know, just kind of went limp, fell over, and then everybody just dropped and went down. And I had bodies on top of me, and I was just praying. I was just like, I hope there's not, you know, a bunch of stuff spraying into the crowd here, because everybody's a sitting duck right now.
You got criminals here. I mean, I don't think that they could bring no more criminals from where they're coming from to here. We got enough. You know, it's like, them bringing more criminals is not hurting America, because it's like, we already have an issue with the people that are born here with the guns and all of that. It's like, it's a lose-lose situation in a way. But with Hyundai and them kind of backing away from the issue too, when they were raided and they were like, we didn't know anything about it, it was from a second hand place, and you know, we abide by the rules of immigration, and it's like, please, you all knew that a lot of those people, they did not have their papers. They knew it. There are a lot of companies that are hiring illegal people, and they know they're illegal. They know it, because it's cheaper to hire them than to hire people that are actually in their home country. And you know, our president is trying to push this idea home that it's like, well, these jobs need to be for Americans. But let's be real, a lot of Americans don't want to do those jobs. That's why the immigrants are doing them, because a lot of Americans, no matter how much we scream that we don't have any money, no matter how much we scream that the economy is bad, no matter how much we scream that we don't have enough money for groceries, a lot of Americans do not want to do these types of jobs. And you know, and I think that in his head, he's thinking like, well, you don't want to do it, I'm going to make you do it. Because we're going to deport everybody, so then you all going to have to do it. Then there's not going to be any choice but for you all to do it. But it's like, America's been running all this time on all the immigrants coming over here and working those jobs and helping the economy and helping America stand up on its own 2 feet. It's like, you don't realize what they contributed. You don't realize what black people contributed to even help that cause, so that the immigrants could come in. You know, we could have a whole long discussion and really take a deep dive and go into different layers of this topic, because it's a lot here to unpack. It's a lot here to talk about, and we can take it all the way back if you want to take it all the way back. But I'm also going to be real. A lot of the Korean Americans and the Korean immigrants that are mad about this footage of these Korean people being arrested and locked up are the same people that actually voted for this man to be in office right now. Those are also the same Korean people that rallied and had those marches talking about that affirmative action was not needed for black youth. So I have to say this as well. You all got what you asked for. That karma is circling back around on y'all. I don't know what you all were thinking about. I don't know if y'all thought that this was just going to be for Mexicans. But then there were some Mexicans out there too. Oh. And it's like, you do realize he's talking about you, right? It's like, you are supporting your own demise. A lot of the Asian community too, that didn't realize what they were doing, and it's like, you didn't realize how affirmative action was put in place to make it an even playing field for people that look like me. It had nothing to do with having a leg up over your community or your people or how smart your kids are. It had more to do with the black and brown people that were smart but were not given the opportunity because of their skin color. That's all it was. No black kids are going to those top schools that did not deserve to be there. They worked to be there. And it made me so sad and so upset to see that so many of the Asian community in that moment had lost the plot. It made me so sad and upset that so many of the Asian community lost the plot when voting for this man again, because they thought it was going to help them line their pockets, because they thought it was going to help them be more successful. And it's like, you all are not seeing the overall long run of this game and where it's going to go. And now you all are seeing it. And I'm not saying all of you all voted for him, but a lot of you all did. A lot of you all sided with what he was talking about. A lot of you all thought that it wasn't going to affect you. A lot of you all thought that because you were the model minority that you all were safe. And now look. A lot of you all that were in on all of this and in support, you all are looking dumb.
Says that can leave businesses like Hyundai with limited options to bring in their own workers.
In order to build the plant, Hyundai needs specific equipment. I can tell you that that equipment is not made in the United States. Otherwise, they would buy it from here. There's no reason to pay import taxes and bring people over. So their only choice, if they wanted to build this plant at the behest of the state of Georgia, for example, would be to bring in these workers and this equipment from abroad.
Reports now say South Korea plans to bring the workers back to their home country.
Ordinarily, you don't have a government intervening saying, we'll bring our citizens home. So this is kind of extraordinary in certain kinds of ways. But it is consistent with the Trump administration's stated effort to enforce the law when it comes to workplaces.
Hyundai has not commented on the raid or what happens to the plant. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem echoed Trump's comments about the importance of training American workers to do these jobs.
I think President Trump's message was powerful. His message today that he sent to the world was, listen, our laws will be enforced, and we're encouraging all companies who want to come to the United States and help us our economy and employ people, that we encourage them to employ U.S. citizens and to bring people to our country that want to follow our laws and work here the right way.
Meanwhile, my black self and my community will sit on the sidelines and watch, just like you all did in a lot of instances where we needed you all. Just like in a lot of instances where we should have come together as minorities, you all were split. And you all decided that you wanted to be with this man. And now look, now people that look like you from your motherland are being treated like criminals. I saw this footage today and I was like, see, look at this. And it's like, learn from this, you guys. People need to start seeing the bigger picture. People need to start coming together. People need to start using their heads and thinking about things for the long term and not just right now. And it needs to stop being about just me and my community. Only me and my community. You need to be starting to think about everybody. And why certain laws are put into place. Not just for you, but for everybody. And why they were put there. Why they're there to help the disenfranchised. So everybody can be treated fairly. But you know, a lot of us in our communities, it's me, and that's the problem. And now look at this. Look what's happened. So I see a lot of Korean Americans chiming in, and there's one side that's like, well, they deserved it. The other side's like, they don't deserve it. I don't think anyone deserves to be treated like those people were treated in that video. But they were wrong. The ones that didn't have the correct documentation, they were wrong for being in this country and not having their stuff together. That's honestly how I feel. They're supposed to be sending them home. We have the South Korean president, like, he's mad. And you know, it's like, oh, they had like such a good talk and a good relationship with Trump, and the American-Korean relationship is now shattered. And it's like, if that man was stupid enough to think that that man that he was sitting in the room talking to was in his right mind, he's crazy. That man is crazy. I really hope that the South Korean president was not a fool. Because that man is crazy. I mean, he is loony. And it had nothing to do with me being on either side of the spectrum, as you want to call it. I can listen to everybody. I can listen to people who voted for him and their reasons why they voted for him. But look at what's happening right now. It's like the point has been proven. It's like, it doesn't matter if you're Republican or Democrat or in between. It doesn't matter. It's just that look at what is happening to people right now. Like, it's disgusting. It's downright disgusting. And we need to start coming together as a community. All of us. All of us. Black people, Asian people, the white people that, you know, want to be open-minded and be allies. Everybody, we all Mexicans. All of us. We all need to come together and work together as a unit, because right now this is looking very grim. There's so much going on in the world right now that it's so hard to unpack everything. It is scary. And there are people in denial right now saying that the economy is good. What is wrong with you? Oh my God. It's like people cannot afford to feed their kids. And meanwhile, there's some people that got to worry about, they probably been here for like 30 plus years and have their documentation maybe it might not look right, and they're worried about being hauled out in a ball and chain because it's like, we got a crazy lunatic as a president. Food for thought. Follow my social media, mostly my Instagram. Also blog Niches and Pop Culture. The link is always down in the description box below. And remember, be real, stay real, live in the real. And I will always be back. Thank you guys for watching. Put below how you feel about all of this. Opinions that agree with me, opposing opinions. I'm open to all opinions. I love you guys. I will see you in the next video.